Hello, ready for your emotional exchange? Come along. Greetings, everyone, and happy spring if you're celebrating it. Welcome once again to Oberon's Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges, which is a weekly tarot forecast for the signs of the Zodiac as arranged by their elemental signs. So let's get to that right away. We're going to go with the air signs first. And remember, air signs are signs Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And as always, we draw a word of the week. Now, where did I put those? Here they are. So the word of the week is designed to help you get through those emotional exchange things that are happening for you, which I will explain in a moment. But for you air signs, the word of the week is regeneration. Regeneration. So I want you to think about that concept of regenerating. What does it mean to regenerate? To regrow something? To revision yourself? What is that? Think about that. That word may come in very handy for you this week. So let's get to our reading. And remember, these readings are basically, we are told, for entertainment only. They are a snapshot in time. We hope to tell you what those ups and downs and currents and undercurrents of your emotional life for the next week. And by the way, this is good for today, Friday, March 20th, through Thursday, March 26th. So once again, we thank you for joining us. And now we're going to draw our cards for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And those cards are the Five of Wands, upright, the Emperor, reversed, and the Seven of Cups, upright. So what does this mean for air signs? Well, the Five of Wands is talking about competition. The competition may not always be in earnest. However, I think that because of the Emperor reversed, you are being challenged somewhere. This will have emotional currents for you, possibly upsetting because, hey, somebody might be challenging you most likely at your workplace, but it could be in your personal life too. It could be wherever you may have some strong, nearly emotional kind of working relationship there. The Emperor reverse seems to indicate a sense of losing power, perhaps, in the situation. And then finally, the Seven of Cups says that what's happening too is that maybe you're going to be offered choices, or you're going to be told you have to sort of relax and deal with your choices. So keep that word in mind, regeneration, because that may give you a clue as to what you can actually do, because that's what the meme is. You may have to regenerate yourself. And I know we have a lot of big crises happening right now, so this is no doubt what that means. Hang in there. Emotionally, it's going to be a tough time for everybody in the next few weeks, but certainly it's going to be perilous, and so I want you to keep in mind those things I've said. Air signs. Alrighty, so we're going to move on now. And we're going to move to our fire signs. And fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So we're going to pull the word of the week for them. Fire signs, your word of the week is duplicity. Duplicity is your word of the week, and this is a cautionary, I would suppose, to watch how things are going with your relationships with people. I see my kitty wants to get in on the scene here. I kind of tried to barricade it, but he's probably bound to get in here. So we'll see what happens with that. Nope, he's going to lay down like a good boy. Thank you, son man. You'll be back later when we do our live stream. So, anyways, as far as duplicity goes, fire signs, watch out. You know, maybe with these emotional currents going on, you need to be a little bit more aware of those who are duplicitous in your life. So let's see what all of that means. And we're going to shuffle your cards. And I will cut and pull the 3 cards. Ooh. Well, very interesting. You have the moon reversed. You have the devil reversed. And you have the Ace of Cups reversed. What do these things mean? Duplicity was definitely the word of the week for you guys. The moon talks about illusions being shattered, deceptions being discovered. It seems like there's a bit of intrigue around some of you fire signs. You also have the devil reversed, which is a sense of liberation after possibility of feeling like there was something that was sort of entrapping you to some negative material situations within yourself, and you were overwhelmed with maybe possible addiction feelings or feelings of obsession of some sort. But you're pulling through that because somehow you have pierced through some illusions. And perhaps what was going on is what it looks like is one of your bigger relationships. Maybe not your, I'm not saying it's necessarily a primary relationship, but it signifies a relationship that really, the Ace of Cups here, it just sort of defaulted and went to nothing good. And the good thing is that I feel like this is a situation that's ongoing now and moving through this week. You're really going to have to move beyond some of these things. I mean, if we're taking the current healthcare into account here, I mean, this could be talking about that a little bit too. The sense of your sense of personal safety maybe is being shattered here by actions of others, you know, those who you felt you might have been able to count on within the context of that. It could be something else too. It could be talking about this relationship going sour that I'm seeing there. It's not exactly clear, but keep in mind there is a lot of duplicitous energy. Apply your understanding with that word of the week to these situations, to these deceptions and breaking out of obsessions that are going on. That's what I have for the fire signs for this week. So we're going to move on now to the water signs. And water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And water signs also have a word of the week. And their word of the week, and I think this came up for them last week, or maybe it came up for another one, but it came up again. Passion. And of course, passion is maybe a watery concept, you know, the overflowing of your heart and your emotions. So being so directly concerned or activated by something, having a passion for something. That's why they call it that. So keep this word in mind for yourselves, guys. The passion word seems to imply that you're going to have incredibly strong feelings and desires over some things that are coming up in your emotional life. And hopefully they are all good, let me tell you. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle those cards. And soon we will know what's actually going on with our water signs this week. And of course, water signs do tend to be the most emotional signs as compared to all of the other signs. But here we go. We have our 3 cards. Okay, and we have the Major Arcana Strength. And we have the 4 of Cups, and these are both upright, but then this one is reversed, and it's the 2 of Cups. It's reversed, and well, right off the top, the 2 of Cups is talking about the possibility of a dissolution of a relationship or some strong disharmony in a relationship, and most likely it could be what is considered a primary relationship or a strong relationship. But strength itself tells us that we need to apply the understanding of the heart to most situations that we are striving to deal with, whether these are missions that are really about empowering ourselves and empowering our lives in situations. Rather than using force, we need to try to apply understanding, our internal wisdom and intuition to that. And I think too that with the Four of Cups, what we're seeing here is it's really maybe a timeout. Maybe the Four of Cups and the Two of Cups sort of have a relationship to each other. They're both even cards, one's reversed to the other. And I'm thinking that Four of Cups is telling me that there is a timeout going on in a relationship. And there may be a really strong sense of disharmony in that relationship, or something's going on there. So I think it's time to apply that word of the week in one of our strongest relationships, see what's going on, apply passion and understanding and compassion to that. Because this is going to be a roller coaster weekend, I think, emotionally for our water signs. I sort of see that with all those cups there. So finally, we are going to move on to our earth signs. And the earth signs are the signs such as Taurus and Virgo, and of course, everyone's favorite, Capricorn. I just had to pull that out. Anyway, their word of the week. That word of the week is meditation. And earth signs tend to be a little bit more level-headed, a little bit more grounded, a little less likely to get into emotional flurries or to have a lot of strong emotional behavior or let their emotions color their judgments. Meditation maybe is just saying this word of the week for you guys is the sense of applying your internal structures to calm yourself and to open your mind up to things around you and to see with another mind, another sense of sense. So that's what I'm thinking you guys need to think about this week, you earth signs. And now we're going to go ahead and shuffle those cards for you. And do watch our live stream on Sunday. Also check out our YouTube channel for some really cool features such as the soul stories that Banshee just put up, and also too our just recently released monthly modality messages, which is also an astrological tarot card reading that's quite unique. I urge you to check that out. Those usually come about as we change into the next sun sign, so we have just released that one. So let's get here to our reading for earth signs and close out this week of Oberon's outlook on the emotional exchanges. And here are your cards, earth signs. We have the Six of Wands, and it's reversed. And we have the Princess of Cups, which is more or less like the Page of Cups, analogous to that. And then we have the Major Arcana, Death, and that's upright. So what do these cards mean for you earth signs? Well, Six of Wands seems to indicate that you're not satisfied exactly with how you positioned in a recent project or situation where you were hoping to be more the victor or more showing success there, and that maybe your success has been blunted a little bit, so you're a little bit thinking about that. Maybe that's what's coloring you. You need to meditate on that. That's the meditation card there. Consider maybe what mistakes you might have made or what other things you could have said to do. Ultimately, I am getting the feeling here that maybe the person who could have been involved with that, maybe that relationship was... nope, this is actually talking more about you. This is you. This is you guys, you earth signs. I'm thinking what happened in the situation that the first card represents to me is saying you did something that was not very tactful. You might have said something you shouldn't have, and this is what worked against you here. You may have had a little bit of a faux pas, as they say. The last card is dramatic. I mean, the Death card indicates a major change, and I'm wondering if it's just, to me, saying that maybe you are looking at the idea that you really want to change things majorly. If this was a career, maybe you're thinking about a major change. And of course, what's happening right now is possibly forcing a lot of major career changes for people with the coronavirus. I mean, people are actually wondering if they're going to have a job at all. So there's a really strong sense of change here. And I'm wondering if this too is connected to that ongoing health saga that we're feeling here with the coronavirus, and that we really have to adjust, meditate on what the changes are coming to us, and that somehow we need to find our way back to not the bluntism perhaps, but to being a little bit more graceful in how we're expressing what the situations are. We need to see if we can really bear better news than what's being handed out right now. So I think that that's really what's going on with the earth signs too. And I'm seeing that these big changes are coming. They're coming for all of us too, earth signs. So we're right behind you in that respect. But I want to thank everybody for joining me for this week's edition of the Emotional Exchanges. And we will be back next Friday. That's the 27th. Yeah. So we're getting near the end of the month. And I thank you for that once again. Bye now.